Welcome back. If you've noticed downtown Portland being a little cleaner these days, it's because of a group of workers who have been on a mission for the last year to pick up litter, remove graffiti, and clear needles.
And it's called Portland's Downtown Ambassador Program, and it just marked its one-year anniversary. Joining us this morning to talk about the successes and challenges and the future is Kerry Tyson. He's the executive director of Portland Downtown. That's the nonprofit that started it all. Kerry, thanks for coming on. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Yeah, first of all, take us back over a year ago and talk about who came up with the idea and how this was launched.
Yeah, well, it was my idea.
Wow.
We've been talking about that for a long time on our board of directors. We recognize that downtown has been facing additional challenges. This is not just true in Portland, but really all across the country. It's sort of a post-pandemic scenario. So what are we going to do to address them? Somebody had to step up. So a lot of conversations, research, that sort of thing. And we propose launching this ambassador program. It's about $750,000 a year we spend on it. We've got about 15 people in the summer and about 8 people in the winter. And they do all sorts of the things you mentioned. They clean up the additional trash. It's shocking how much we deal with ice cream. Ice cream on trash cans that melts, that becomes a real hazard for seagulls. And, it's just, old dairy doesn't smell great. But needles, human waste, all sorts of different things, beautification. And we've made an extraordinary amount of progress in the last 12 months. We're very proud of that.
Years in the making, now support from the city. When you were on the streets of Portland in the past year, can you tell me how big of a problem was it really, like cleaning up all of these things?
Yeah, it was huge, and we have a city crew, a public works crew that we underwrite that does a lot of really good and important things, but by law, they're prohibited from going on private property. So this was becoming a high burden for the private property owners that the city simply couldn't address. Now, we're a separate nonprofit that works in conjunction with the city. So, our board decided this was an investment that we wanted to make. And I think we've really lessened the burden of the private property owners. They no longer have to outsource it. They can just call us. The easiest way to do that is through the C-Click Fix app, which is free to download on both platforms, Android and iPhone. And you put in a ticket, and whatever the issue is, we'll come and address it if it's within our scope.
Yeah, you've talked about all the things you've had to deal with. You have some impressive numbers that you wanted to share with us about how much litter you've picked up and things like that it is mind-boggling. Huh?
Yeah, we dedicate everything as a task, so it's a ticket or a task, and we've done over 30,000 of them in the last year.
What?
And it's wild. And you see our folks out there, they're in the blue shirts and the hats, and when it's winter, they're in the big blue jackets, and they'll have their phones and they'll document every before and after. So we have photographs of all that. It's tens of thousands of pounds of trash. Before our team started, trash wasn't being picked up after about 1 in the afternoon. That's not a big deal in the winter, but in the summer and the tourist season, it is a huge deal. So the trash cans would be overflowing. So our guys are out there now, they're picking it up. They're doing it 2 or 3, 4 times a day, particularly on the weekends. They're cleaning the tops of the trash cans. Again, that ice cream is a big deal. They're taking care of graffiti.
I would have never thought.
I know,
ice
right?
cream.
Yeah, it's a dairy challenge. The odor is a lot. So yeah, they're doing a lot of extraordinary things. It's really impressive.
I'm assuming you're hearing feedback from a lot in the downtown. Oh, can you touch on some of that?
Yeah, people are so very grateful. Our folks come in every day and tell me, hey, so-and-so stopped me, and they said thank you. And, restaurants, that sort of thing, they offer sometimes free beverages or a meal to our folks just because they're so grateful. And it's really lovely. It's really lovely.
But what are the biggest challenges?
Well, besides ice cream, graffiti is probably one of our number one things. But our guys, we've really turned that around. They address it within 24 hours now. And they're out there. We've got a trike, an electric trike, where we can get into tight spaces that has a pressure washer on the back. You've probably seen our big trucks with the 250-gallon pressure washer. We also have these wipes and chemicals that they'll take them down with. So that's the other big one. But they'll take care of waste as well. If there's needles or human waste or these sort of things, that's what we do.
Kerry, we have like 10 seconds. Is this going to continue into year 2?
Yes. continuing into year 2 and beyond. We're hoping to grow it.
All right, sounds good. Thanks for coming on. Appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.